Hey, I had read an article where the guy that was with Michael Brown at the time has now like supposedly confessed. All I gotta say is if you have a right to a lawyer, you have a right to have a lawyer present there. Just because the police think they are above the law, okay, that's the police. You're American citizen, American taxpayer, you work at a 9 to 5, whatever. You have the right to have a lawyer represent you at any time. If you don't have a lawyer there, the assumption is you've been coerced for them not allowing your constitutional rights. So anytime a policeman just harass you, and bully you, and everybody knows they do, because hey, they do it so often, and it's part of their training. I was looking at something today, and I do want to sort of say to Don Lennon that I sort of reference to like a negative term. I don't really feel that way about him, but I really feel that in a capitalist society that you do have to have a job because you do have to pay a bill, you do have to pay your taxes, you do have um, to pay for to have your tags on your car, loans, and interest on those loans. So you have to continuously in a capitalist society be a slave to the bank because they loan you this money. You know, and this money is loaned to you on the back of oil that they are now having a war with. We can have, and it would be nice if like people like Snoop Dogg and Russell Band and JC. I always mess that up myself. Beyonce and people with money. Um, um, uh, would that black people with money and Oprah Winfrey. I don't know why she didn't open up a school. Like for inner school children here. I mean, anybody's more than welcome. One of my lots that I have to mow to grow food on. They got kids here. The food they're feeding you is causing you diabetes. If you're under 12, you should not be eating more than 4 ounces of red meat a month. You should not be drinking milk. Your moms, if they're not breastfeeding you, they are not helping your brain development. They're not really bonding, like with a human female thing going on there. Um, and also for the woman, it causes you to, because it takes you to have a lot of food and nutrition, a lot of good food, like you know, like when I was pregnant, I like yogurt, and I still like spinach salads and cucumber salads, you know, um, and chicken. Just 'cause you're black and white people like want to bully you and harass you, everybody loves chicken. So chicken's a staple. Fish, you know, and nuts and chocolate and ice cream. All this is good for you. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't recommend eating processed food. I wouldn't recommend not eating. You can get toxemic. You have to worry about diabetes in pregnancy, but a lot of diabetes we have today can be uh, 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 prevented, especially diabetes too, because of cocaine use. A lot of people don't eat regularly. Maybe while they're on a binge, even with alcohol, while you're on a binge, you might not be eating, and then um, you eat, and your metabolism gets off a little, okay? To where, because your body has to break down certain stuff. So then, like, if you haven't been eating for 3 or 4 days, and what you eat is, like, say, some fried bologna, um, and something from, um, like, I don't even know, but it's not something you cooked, or it's not vegetables, not fruit. It's not, like chicken, or something like that. Or if it has chicken and it has so little chicken, like if you have a hot pocket, you know. Pizza is even better for a lot of people because pizza has tomatoes, vegetables, depending on, and I'm not talking frozen pizza. I'm talking about getting your pizza out of a restaurant, like any of the pizza places, that it's, it could be a meal. But anyway, so we do have a problem here with obesity. And if you're not breastfeeding and you're a female, you're because like you dilate when you have your child. You have to dilate at least to 8. I mean myself, I didn't dilate past 2, but it is only because I had a horrible husband, that was very selfish, and I should have went to the hospital hours earlier, or who knows. But anyway, but if you breastfeed, you'll lose that weight, and hopefully you're still getting enough nutrition and in your food that you're eating, that you can, that you will have healthy, that you'll stay healthy, because the baby will pull out of the milk will the milk will pull out what it needs to make milk, and it also helps the child's immune system. One thing like I found out that my child couldn't catch what I had when I had, like, if I had a cold or I caught the flu, the baby didn't catch it. But if the child caught it, like once they go to school for like the flu or pink eye, I could catch it from them. But in those early years, if I caught a cold, what I'm saying, I could still do what I had to do and be all around the baby. And immune system is very important. It's like a lot of people, they go get blood or they go get plasma and they're addicted to cocaine. And let's face it, it's been very profitable for them to continue the war in Afghanistan because that's one of the hot spots where they're growing, like they have opiums and stuff that they're growing in poppy seeds, and these red poppy seeds. And you sort of like milk it and you let this stuff dry and you could have a cocaine opposed to in South America what is the plant. Well, I guess poppies is heroin, but anyway, and you could grow poppies, you could grow cocaine, you could grow anything because the temperature and the in that region is comfortable to South America, because people don't comprehend is that even though South America is such a far distance, South America and Africa are totally alike. The climate's the same. They both have an equator. And then even the upper regions around Asia, China, Turkey, Afghanistan, and etc. They have a formidable climate, to grow a lot of plants, and that's what these people had did. They were gardeners, even though they weren't, might have been nomadic with their goats and whatever. Maybe they weren't cow eaters, but because of maybe the rocky terrain or maybe a humane aspect to their thinking. Um, but anyway, now they have been. So we have a war going on. They traffic drugs from Afghanistan, and you literally can walk from drive from Afghanistan to Alaska. You could drive there, get on a boat, or walk across that great spread. Be in Alaska, rent you a Harris car or whatever, train, plane, however. Whoever rents, you could do it however you want to. You can buy you a car. They come with money. But anyway, but today, we have in the South the results of like the Republican Party um, having um, the ability to make money off of pharmaceuticals, you know. And with this ability to make money off pharmaceuticals, make money off of prisons, which they're notorious for, the South has ever since chain gangs and etc. Um, and they're notorious for being racist, and they are absolutely racist. And racist and ignorance, it has to come hand in hand. That's why the schools are not pumping out anybody that is actually could do anything but like females dance on the pole or they work as nurses' aides and take her, clean up shit, somebody's shitty ass. And the guys either, end up selling drugs and, you know, gangs or whatever, and going to jail, or they have a job in the law enforcement. Either way, and the women too, like a lot of them are jealous. So either way, everything is rotating around really a misery of the community by in housing them, institutionalizing the jails, and the schools are not pumping out anybody with any education, and the food that they is causing with the milk, with the red meat, with the cold cereal, not eating, not growing our own food, not living off the land, and being totally independent off of corporations and going to Walmarts and Kmart's and Targets and Macy's and the Dollar General store, pay less, you know, or whatever you're going. If you have to go to grocery stores, you got Kroger's, and you're depending on getting your vehicle from getting a loan. You become in debt, from like the day you're born to the day you die. So basically, even if you look at sports, that is a form of slavery. They literally say that we are buying and selling. That's what these owners say. So we need to think about, maybe we, as an individual, we can take responsibility of our kids or our offsprings and garden. Even if we don't have a yard, we can do gardening pots. And even if you just garden something like, say you just do zucchini or tomatoes in the house, or outside. Maybe you only do it in the summertime. In the wintertime, you might be able to keep sweet basil or something in the house, or just fresh plants, so you can help the atmosphere of your house and oxidize it. But we need to start thinking anew to where we're not slaves to the capitalist society, when we're not paying all these taxes, when we're not paying all this, student loan money to the bank, when we have to work the next 30, 50 fucking years to pay the bank. Basically, that is slavery. I don't like it. I don't like the police thinking that they got the power to go around and just kill Americans that are paying taxes and working hard every fucking day to pay these taxes on this property. And what do we end up with? The bank owner. We don't end up with shit. And it's fucked up, and it's time for it to change.